The movie begins with Jason going live on social media to perform. Jason Brady is a teenage vlogger and musician. His parents ship him off to a Catholic boarding school as their summer holidays have ended. They disagree with his musical aspirations and want him to focus on his studies. His sister Zoe also goes to school. Zoe prays to get into her school of choice and for God to help her brother. Sister Sophia is a new nun at the school. She meets Sister Rebecca, who is the head mistress. She reads her file and asks about her previous teaching experience. She tells him not to wear makeup, as it is not allowed in this school. She shows Sister Sophia around and meets Jason on the way, where Rebecca introduces her to him and informs him that he is a bit stressed due to his failing grades. Jason ditches his friends to read the comments on his vlog. There is a comment from the user meant to be. Meant to be is Sister Sophia. She makes up with her laptop while watching his videos, and then searches the school for the dork with a guitar. She goes to see him playing the guitar. She talks to him nicely and tells him that he can share everything with her if he feels upset. Later, Sister Sophia notices Sarah flirting with Jason, gets aggressive, and reassigns her seat in the class. She then asks the class to open their books, but Zoe reminds Sister Sophia that they haven't done their morning prayer and sees that the new teacher doesn't say the prayer with the students. After class, Sarah starts texting him, and Zoe warns him not to get into another distraction. Sister Sophia met Jason when he was on the way to his room. She asks about Sarah, but he clarifies that Sarah is not his girlfriend, Kalata. When Sister Sophia sees Jason and Sarah kissing on campus, she threatens Sarah and then angrily clutches her crucifix, leaving bleeding wounds in her hand. After class, she invites Jason to her chamber, which Jason thinks students are not allowed, but Sister Sophia says they are allowed if they are invited. She licks off the blood like a cat. Jason visits Sister Sophia's dorm room at her request, and notices the door is half open. He looks inside and sees Sister Sophia lathering up her body with body oils. He is turned on but runs away. Then he fantasizes about her at night. Disturbed, he decides to keep his distance from Sister Sophia. The week has ended, and Jason's parents arrive to take them home for the weekend. Sister Sophia watches them from afar and feels aggressive seeing Sarah and Jason hugging after saying goodbye. She asks Rebecca for weekend leave, and she is granted it. At home, Jason asks his parents to take a year off from school and try his hand at music, but his father does not agree with it. Sister Sophia continues to obsess over and stalk Jason. She stakes out his parents' house while he's away for the weekend, and drinks whiskey angrily in her car when she overhears him talking to Sarah on the call. To get Sarah out of the way, Sophia breaks into Sarah and Zoe's room and plants marijuana in her textbook, resulting in her suspension. Rebecca sees Sister Sophia entering the girls' dorm. She follows her and meets her in the corridor, but Sister Sophia covers it by saying she heard some voices, so she comes to check it. Meanwhile, Zoe hears their talking, catches her, and gets the confirmation she needs that Sister Sophia is a bad sister. The next day in the class, when Sister Sophia asks them to open their books, the joint is found in Sarah's textbook, and the headmistress suspends her from school. Sister Sophia wants them to search. It might be possible that some other students are involved too. The school conducts room searches and finds whiskey in Jason's room. Sister Sophia planted it in his room, so she insisted Rebecca give Jason a chance. So get him to stay over the weekend and work in the yard. In the flashback, it is revealed that she met her real Sophia sister, who was going to the school where she was just transferred. She met her, and after talking for a while, she killed her real sister, Sophia, buried her dead body in the woods, and then entered school. She has done all this because she saw Jason online and fell in love with him. So, to get him, he used that method. He talks to Zoe and wants her to lie to the parents, but Zoe, after hearing that Sister Sophia wants him to stay, decides she is also staying. Over the weekend, Sister Sophia comes to Jason while he is doing yard work. Zoe notices her closeness with Jason. Then she sneaks into his dorm room and makes out with him while stripping down. He tries to stop her because he knows it is wrong, but he can't resist her. Sister Sophia secretly films them having their makeout. The next morning, when he was on the way to meet Zoe for lunch, Sister Sophia talked to him, telling him she also did not belong there, and that, like him, she was also misunderstood. She warns him not to tell his sister anything. Later, she went to his room, smelled his shirt, and was caught again by Zoe. Zoe then talks to Jason, asking about her but clearly saying he does not know anything. Meanwhile, Sister Sophia fails Zoe in the test, and when she tells Zoe, she cannot believe it. Sister Sophia gives her a chance to attempt it again. Sister Sophia has none of that, and frames Zoe to appear to be cheating on a test. Then she tries to get her suspended. Sister Rebecca is forgiving and gives Zoe another chance, but she shares Zoe's concerns about the school's newest teacher. However, Rebecca thinks they are all different, and she should pray and ask for forgiveness from God. Jason goes to confession and says he regrets what he has done. He knew it was wrong, but he couldn't stop himself. The father leaves the booth, and it turns out to be Sister Sophia. They get it in the confession booth and start making out with him. Later, the father of the school arrives and meets Rebecca. They talk about his sister Sophia, whom he met before calling a ray of hope, but Rebecca thinks the current Sister Sophia is different. She goes to her dorm room to see her but finds she is not there. She catches her leaving with her backpack. On asking, Sister Sophia says that her aunt is sick, so she is going to see her. As she leaves, Rebecca thinks something is strange about Sister Sophia. On the weekend, Jason and Zoe return home. Jason receives a text from Sarah inviting him to take part at her house. At the dinner table, he asks his father for permission, but he rejects it, making Jason angry, who walks out of the table. Zoe followed him outside to talk to him, and Sister Sophia in her car was watching the two. Jason leaves for the party and she follows him. At the party, he drinks, and Sarah tries to sleep with him, but all he can think about is Sister Sophia, so he leaves her. Meanwhile, on the way home, he is stopped by the police for having a drink on his head, but Sister Sophia, who was following him, arrives and requests that the cop leave him as he has a medical condition. She takes him to her apartment and shares that. She wants them together, and as she has money, she will take care of him. Jason realizes that Sister Sophia is crazy after sleeping with her one more time. He leaves, telling her that it is not right and he cannot do it anymore. She breaks down emotionally and throws everything away. Meanwhile, Jason's mother discusses him with her husband and sends him to look for Jason. Outside, he calls Zoe for help. She doesn't show up, but his father does. The two talks about the issues between them. Father has realized that he is pressuring him to do what he does not want to do. He apologizes for his behavior, and they come to an understanding. He takes him home where his mother and Zoe are waiting for them. They also become happy seeing them together. The next morning, Sarah arrives at their home, and the three leave for school. But before leaving, Zoe sees Sophia's car in front of their house. Late at school, Zoe notices Sophia staring at Jason at the prayer. Zoe goes to see Sister Sophia's car and notes her car number. She checks it on the internet and finds her full name details. Back at school, Jason finds Sister Sophia in his bed, pretending to have an overdose. Jason gives her CPR and she makes out with him, but Jason stops her, warning that he will inform his father, but she puts all the blame on him, which scares him, and she leaves. Meanwhile, Zoe calls him, telling him that she has checked Sister Sophia's car details, but he warns her not to do anything or not inform her parents. At class, Sister Sophia asks Jason to say morning prayer today before starting class. Meanwhile, Rebecca watches Sister Sophia from the door, and then she takes in Sarah. Sarah's suspension is over, and she is back in class. After class, Sister Sophia met him, asking to continue their relationship, but he refused and went out to talk to Sarah, who was waiting for him outside the class. Later, they go to the common room, and he sings a song. Sister Sophia had a breakdown in her room. She screams with anger, and then calms down after planning something. Sister Sophia kills Sarah in the shower by banging her head against the wall. Then she drops a bar of soap on the floor in the sloppiest murder cover-up ever. Later, Zoe arrives in the washroom to take a shower and is shocked to see Sarah's body covered in blood. She cries, asking for help. The dead body is then taken to her home, and everyone at school is upset. Zoe and Jason cannot believe that she is no more. The prayer is conducted for Sarah. Jason confronted Sophia about Sarah's death, who viciously denied her crime and threatened to expose her and Jason's unholy affair, which she recorded. He requests that she not reveal it. She tells him she is planning to move out of this place, and she wants him to go with her. Meanwhile, Jason's parents arrive to take them for the weekend. Zoe shares Sarah's death details with her mother. Jason sees Sarah looking at him with a strange face. She asks Rebecca for a weekend holiday to attend her aunt's funeral, who died this morning. Jason's family is out for dinner, and they run into Sister Sophia. Jason's father invites her to join them, and Zoe starts firing off questions, catching Sister Sophia in lie after lie. After dinner, Jason admits to Zoe that he has been sleeping with their teacher. He is also being blackmailed with the sex tape. Zoe tells Jason she thinks Sister Sophia isn't who she says she is. Wanting to take Sophia down, Zoe, with Jason at her side, broke into her chambers and looked through her laptop, uncovering her true identity and her long-time obsession with Jason. When head sister Rebecca caught on to Sophia's lies and threatened to go to the father of the school, Sophia knocked her out with a lamp. Sophia then confronted Jason and Zoe in the chapel. As the two siblings called her out on her actions, Sophia attempted to get Jason to come with her, but Jason refused, calling her by her true name, Laura, and denouncing her as a crazy stalker who deserves to be locked up. Refusing to believe Jason does not love her, Sophia went berserk, hitting Zoe in the back of the head with a candlestick. When Jason tried to subdue her, Sophia kneed him in the crotch. declaring she was tired of everyone trying to keep her and Jason apart, and cold-heartedly admitting that she killed Sarah. Sophia, in her twisted desire to be with Jason forever, planned to end Zoe's life using the candlestick. However, before she could carry out her dark deed, Sister Rebecca intervened and prevented the tragic event from occurring. Sophia then attacked Rebecca and attempted to strangle her to death, but she was finally stopped by Jason, who stabbed the villainess in the back with the screwdriver he used to break into her office, much to Sophia's horror. Upon the sudden revelation that Jason's affections were not reciprocated, a shattered Sophia, wounded and filled with despair, crumbled to the floor and drew her last breath, succumbing to her injuries. Graduation happens, and Jason plays the guitar while everyone listens, nodding politely.